Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what you saying, people, and welcome back to another live stream. Hope you're all doing well and had a good weekend. Welcome back as always, guys. If you do want to check out my Telegram channel, make sure you go and do that. Link in the description down below. I do share my setups there, my watch list and setups and forecasts that I post on the weekend. So make sure you go check that out if you want to. If you are looking for a broker, I do have my affiliate link there to IC Markets. Feel free to check that out if you want to, if you are looking for a broker. And yeah, guys, welcome to the stream. Any pairs you're looking at, just leave it down in the chat. Excuse me, just leave it down in the chat. We'll eventually take a look at it and see what's happening. But yeah, guys, just going to talk about what's going on in the charts today, see if we can get any opportunities. And yeah, so yeah, I'm currently still in my AUD/USD short from last week, Tuesday. So it's almost been a week. And I'm still nursing this current position. Again, don't have much on, only around 20% of the original volume. So not too much at stake here, but I still can see that full swing to the downside, like we've been discussing pretty much all of last week, looking for AUD/USD to come back down to these lows and see some new lows beyond that weekly point. So I'm still expecting price to push further. Hey, welcome to the stream. Hello. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hey, Warty, is that Warty? Hey, Warty, Samuel, welcome to the stream. USD, yeah, we'll get onto that. That's actually a pair that I was looking at this morning. But yeah, it's not looking too good anymore, so I will dive into that. Hey, Christopher, how are you doing? Hey, morning, Ross, welcome to the stream, my guy. Yeah, I'm good. Hope you are as well. But yeah, we'll take a look at USD because I was actually eyeing up some shorts this morning, but not a fan of that 4H candle closure at all. So I don't know if you guys have seen my analysis, but I posted this as my bonus pair. on my weekly analysis on the weekend, talking about why I'm looking for some shorts from this one back down to these lows here around 1.59. However, we have closed pretty firmly on the 4H back above this zone. We still could get a reaction to the downside from here, but the shorts just don't look as good as they did from this zone here. It's a very, very common pattern we see when the market either forms one high or consolidates or a double top like it did here, break through the structure, retest the underside of it, the low of it, and then we see the continuation. And we had some nice confluence with this one as well, but price has closed quite firmly above it. So I'm going to be backing away from USD from now. I'm still looking at shorts. We still could get a drive higher, and maybe price gives us some nice bearish signals to get back in. But yeah, for me, I'm going to be backing away from this one. Bias is still bearish, still looking at shorts back down to here, which is these lows here around 1.59. It's just the fact that the level that I was looking to short at didn't hold, so I'm going to have to wait for analysis to tidy up a little bit, wait for price action, tidy up, allocate myself a new level to work with, and then from there I'll place my shorts. But yeah, nothing's really changed too much for USD because the way I get my forecast is from the higher time frames, and that's where I get my bias from, and nothing's really much changed from a higher time frame perspective. So still looking for sales, just the level that I was looking at in the 4H didn't hold. And that's the beauty of it. Sometimes, most of the time, if the level I'm looking at doesn't hold, it doesn't even give me an entry signal anyway. As you can see, we just blew straight past that level, so there's no entry signal, so avoided taking a loss in that one. But yeah, there's nothing really to work with right now. Like I said, there is a level here slightly, but that doesn't really want me to get involved. It's not really a strong area, so area that we might react off. Nothing really on the base of trade from. So yeah, for USD, if we can get back underneath, I'll start to reconsider, see how price action can look on the retest of things. If we can get back underneath this 1.63400 level, then I'll start looking for some shorts again. And again, targets do remain all the way down here, but again, there's multiple targets you can look at. There's this low here, of course. There's this, resistance around here. There's this support. So there's multiple levels you can target. Don't necessarily have to be looking at 1.59, but long term, that's where I see the market ending up. So yeah, for this one, I'm going to wait for price to see what it does next. It might come up to retest the resistance and then come back down. But for the moment being, I'm going to be waiting to see what USD does next. Yeah, it didn't hold my level. So I'm just going to have to move on to the next piece of analysis or price action, really. But good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone is doing good. Good morning, Joshua. Welcome to the stream. Joshua, good. Yeah, I'm doing well. Your thoughts on pound yen? It's broken above the... Yeah, I did see that from the yen pairs. Yen pairs were absolutely flying, especially pound JPY. But that one's been consolidating for quite some time. So we're always going to get a breakout, something like that, either to the downside or to the upside. Again, not really too bothered which way price goes, because we're always going to look to follow momentum. But looks like if you can get a strong daily candle closure, I'd wait for the end of the day before trying to follow that momentum, because price is consolidating from a daily point of view. And for all we know, price could pull back and give us a big wick to the upside. And then actually shorts will be looking a lot better. So I'm going to wait for the daily candles to close to confirm the momentum from an intraday perspective. And then if that can sustain, close something similar to how we're looking right now, we could be looking at another move potentially back to these highs here. So we could be looking at just following that trend to the upside. I was looking at a similar setup on Euro Yen, which I'll get into a second. But yeah, we could be looking to follow this momentum back up to 168.306. Because I was looking essentially for us to break out this consolidation, and I had targets to the downside, which was back at these lows, and targets to the upside, which is those highs up there. So if we can sustain that break, I'll be looking at 168. So again, for the next kind of week or two, it depends how long it takes for us to break out and get back to those highs. We'll be looking at pushing trades to 168. Obviously, we've got some highs here to watch out for around 165.950. But yeah, big push to the upside. You're definitely correct there for pound yen. This could be the breakout we're finally looking for this pair, because price action in that area was borderline untradeable. Wasn't really looking at anything in this area. I did get into some trades back here, but things were looking a lot cleaner. Then it just got very messy. So yeah, with pound JPY, it would be nice for a retest of this structure here, or even this structure here. and looking to get long from one of these levels here. So 163,247 and 162,500 would be nice areas to go long for. Basically just looking for a pullback, higher low to form, and continue it back to those highs and eventually 168. So yeah, pound JPY looking very, very good. And yeah, a lot of the JPY pairs are just flying. Good morning, welcome to the stream. Akin, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hey Raja, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. I'm doing well. Hope you are as well. CAD JPY moving mad, but I was wondering what your thoughts on Euro CAD. Yeah, we'll take a look at Euro CAD as well. Yeah, I mean CAD yen, pound yen, Euro yen, they're all pretty much doing the exact same thing. I don't know what's happened fundamentally, because something like this is definitely due to something that's been announced or something, and I have no idea. I haven't really checked, to be fair, so I wouldn't know anyway, but something's definitely gone on. If anyone knows in the chat, let me know. But yeah, something's definitely happened for yen, because all yen pairs are flying 100%. But we'll look to see how the daily candles close, and then we can follow up momentum, for the rest of the REIT, basically, if you can get some good retracement. But EuroCAD, yeah, EuroCAD, let's take a look at EuroCAD. So yeah, EuroCAD, very, very messy. Very, very, very messy, but I still think this one's got a bit more downside left to it. Overall, I do think we're actually slowly working our way back down to these lows here, around 125. So I do think there's still a lot more downside for this one. But we are still trading at this wick low on the left. So we could see a bounce potentially first for EuroCAD, and then the continuations. But again, that's a bit more long term. But going down into the low time frames, daily 4H, we've got this huge consolidation on the left here, and that price is just resting on the bottom of the consolidation, which actually lines up perfectly with that wick there on the left. We just tidy that up a little bit, so it lines up beautifully with that wick low, which started a huge move to the upside, as you can see, and now we're kind of just resting on that wick, as long as with that consolidation as well. So if we can hold this, I would favor EuroCAD to give us a bit of a move to the upside. This is almost, well, pretty much is a inverse head and shoulder pattern. You got the left shoulder here, got the neckline forming, got the head, and then you got the retest of the left shoulder support. Turn the right shoulder, could get a nice move to the upside, back into the highs of the range, which could present a bigger move to the upside for then a bigger sell-off later down the road. So yeah, that looks good. EuroCAD looks good for move back to the highs of the range. You got the 50% as well, maybe around here-ish. Let's see if that was correct. Nah, I can tell it's a little bit off. Okay, not too far. 50% is around about there, just using a fib to make things a bit more exact. So yeah, you can look for target into the 50%, which is just around the 1.31 100 mark. You can aim for 1.31, nice little psych level to work with. Let me go into the 4H and the hourly. So yeah, EuroCAD, you got 1.31 to work with, and then 1.32 is the higher target. In terms of entries and buying, I would say look to buy as low as possible near this area here. So a push maybe back into this support would be nice. That hourly support, so if you can come back, kiss that support, give a nice little entry signal on that low. You can look to take advantage of the range back into 1.31. Then if you really want to push the trade, you got 1.32 up there as well. But yeah, I would favor some buys for EuroCAD as long as we stay above this 1.303 level, which is the low of the range on the daily. And yeah, from that we can see some nice upside for that one. But yeah, EuroCAD looks good. It's got that gap there in the left, which it looks like it's just filled right now, so we might see a reaction to the downside. Look for that higher low or retest of the low of the range, and yeah, and see if we can find some nice momentum coming back into the market. 1.31, 1.32. So hopefully that made sense there for EuroCAD. Hey UD, welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing good. Hey JL Lee, welcome to the stream. Morning Richard. Good morning, Edward. Yeah, I just did EuroCAD, so hopefully you caught that. Morning, Jason. Welcome to the stream. Geez, saying morning so much, but yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. Hope everyone is doing good. Hey, Alaba, welcome to the stream. Biggie Smalls, big up, big up. Possibly caused by a RBA interest rate decision, high impact. Okay, thank you, Big Banks. Yeah, I had no idea what caused that. because it's pretty much every yen pair. I mean, some yen pairs are flying more than others. Like pound yen is obviously flying a lot more than AUD JPY and NZD. AU and NZD are still quite weak actually. Well, they've been weak since Asian coming into London. I'm still selling AUD/USD, and we did see a nice little reaction there to the downside during the Asian session. I did want this one to retrace a little bit higher to get some more shorts in. We did respect this prior low off the back end last week, but I wasn't really trying to enter last week. Really closed some nice profits. Oh, I just hit my mic. Hope that didn't cause too much disturbance. My apologies. But yeah, so yeah, we did retest this level, which was where I was looking to add some more shorts onto AUD/USD. But that was the back end of last week, and I wasn't really looking to get back into the market then. I was waiting to see what can happen at the start of this week, and we did see some nice upside back into 0.68400. Well, not quite that 0.68200, but I was looking to see if it come a little bit higher and then short it. And to be fair, this happened during the Asian session, so yeah, 2-3 a.m. I am fast asleep at that point. But yeah, these are the two areas I'm looking to short. I think we could see some upside still for AUD/USD, still pretty early on in the week. I know it looks like we are breaking outside this range here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we crept back inside the range, come back, test one of those levels, and then see the rollover. Or, we could just drop to the downside, which is still fine because I still got my original position on, so I'll still be able to, reap some benefits from that drop there as well. But preferably I'd like it to retrace, obviously, to add more positions on and sell it. But the analysis, stay the exact same for AUD/USD. Pound AUD, morning Deek, we'll get onto that, no problem. Morning Dorcas, welcome to the stream. There was news of yen far below the forecast. Okay, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense because we are seeing a lot of weakness. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But pound yen's doing the best. I don't know if pound's a little bit strong as well. I mean, we did get a new prime minister yesterday morning, which I just found out. We did get a new prime minister elected in the UK. So I don't know if that might be causing something. But obviously, yesterday was a bank holiday in the US, so we didn't see too much activity. Maybe it's kind of lagging and it's coming now. I have no idea. But yeah, price is looking a little bit strong for pound. Pound yen's flying, of course. But yeah, I'll take a look at pound AUD, USD/JPY, oil, sure thing. Aliens D, okay, I'll take a look. No problem. We'll go into pound AUD. So yeah, pound AUD, yeah, pushing to the upside, very, very strong. As we saw, Aussie looks a little bit weak, pound's quite strong. For this one, my analysis is still bearish. So the fact that we're seeing some good upside is just, a sign that, okay, we're seeing some retracement now and we can get ready to short the pair back down again. Obviously, a little bit too soon for shorts. Everything's still looking pretty bullish here, breaking through some of these highs. I do think we can, push maybe back to some of these areas up here, maybe 1.72500 we could probably push into. That would be a great place to look to short the pair again and see some more downside, and actually lines up quite nicely with this, very, very strong level of support here on the daily. As you can see, held the market moving sideways for a few days, actually more like a few weeks, couple months actually. So really, really strong support from around 1.72 to 1.7725. So if you see a push up into that, look for the next lower high, because all pound AUD is doing is placing consistent lower high after lower high after lower high. As you can see, 1 there, 2 there, 3 there, all for equal highs, 4, 5. Most likely we're going to see another one form and just, roll over to the downside. So yeah, pound AUD is looking quite strong, but I think that will be short-lived, most likely be short-lived. And if you can be looking for that next lower high to form somewhere around there, and then yeah, a continuation is back to the downside, which is 1.69 and beyond, because I do still see this falling a lot further from a long-term perspective. But if you're looking for what's happening right now, I think we can see a bit more upside. If you want to take advantage of the buys as well, a little retest of this could be nice. If you can see a pullback into that, retest, take some buys to the upside, then see what happens here, and then you can get into some sells back down again. So you can take advantage of both sides if you want. Obviously, buys a little bit more riskier because you're going against the trend a little bit. But I think the real move is the sell. So yeah, if you are looking at pound AUD, 1.72, 1.725 looks pretty good. Obviously, see if you can get any reversal signs in that area. But yeah, for this one, a bit more upside, and I do see this one turning back around. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Use JPY, oil, ADNZD, gold, we'll get into that. Hope we get some swing trades this week. Yeah, me too. I hope to as well. I mean, there's a few pairs I'm looking at. And again, it's only Tuesday, so things are still kind of warming up. And some expected moves in the market. So hopefully things can settle. I'm not too sure if anything's looking good today for me. I'll have a quick look again, but I'm not too sure if anything's looking good today. Might be a midweek, towards the end of the week trades. We'll have to see. Oh, my light just dropped. Oh well, we'll continue. Okay, so yeah, pound AUD, US to JPY. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so yeah, we're still flying to the upside. Wow. Okay, so where are the highs that we're talking about on the... Okay, there they are, which is at, was that 144.800? Yeah, we could be heading to those highs up there, and we've smashed through this high there at 134, and looks like momentum is still sustaining, still holding, and 144 could be our next, pivotal area where again we could retrace or we could blast through. Just depends what the market's going to do, but momentum is still very, very strong in the higher time frames, which is why I said it's always difficult to sell USD/JPY right now, because monthly, weekly, daily, 4H, even hourly, all those time frames are bullish. So in terms of probability, it's always going to be difficult to sell, and your best bet is just to buy the pullbacks really. So yeah, coming into the week, we were trading around about here-ish. And I said to you guys, as long as we stay above 139, I wouldn't think about selling this at all. And we didn't even see a retest of 139. We did see a slight one there, to be honest, but we didn't see price really come back down and retest it on the daily. But yeah, price is still quite bullish. So if you're looking at this one, again, I would say focus on the buys. I wouldn't look to sell this at all. I do expect to see some downside because of retracement and a pullback, so I do expect to see some downside, but it's nothing that I'm willing to trade and willing to actually place a trade on. So again, it's up to you how and trade it. If you like trading retracements, we're coming up to a good time where retracement could come. 142, we've just had a big push after some consolidation, so generally speaking, I do expect to see a retracement sooner or later. But yeah, there's no real level to look at. I have to go all the way back, so far to the left that doesn't really make sense on the 4H time frame. So yeah, if you're looking at trade this one, wait for a pullback. Some buys will be good on the retest of this consolidation, or even 139. Any one of these areas here would be good, some good buys really. So yeah, with USD/JPY, be patient, wait for a pullback. One of those two areas looks good for some buys. Other than that, I'll personally just leave this one alone because it's still flying. But of course, if you're looking to sell, feel free, but it's always going to be a little bit risky, and you don't want to be the person just constantly giving liquidity for the market to go higher. So pray the probability. Price most likely is going to continue going up, so just look for buys really. Oil, ADNZD, gold, sure thing. NZD CAD will take a look, no problem. Okay, so move on to oil. Okay, oil's still looking bearish. Again, commodities are still kind of down. Gold, silver, oil as well. Dollar still overall strong. So still looking at oil pushing to the downside. We are respecting this key level here, which is what's giving us those wicks to the upside. We just saw a nice bearish shooting star pattern engulfing. So we could see another bearish week pushing us to the downside. But obviously we are trading into low. So that's not really, where you want to be selling the market. In fact, I will be posting a video on Friday about where to buy and where to sell. Generally speaking, the best areas where to buy and where to sell. because a lot of the times you will catch traders buying and selling at the wrong places. They might get some good entries and trade some good patterns, but if it's in the wrong areas, the trade's never really going to go that far. So I'll be posting that video on Friday, so make sure you do keep an eye out for it. But yeah, in this area there's not really much to do because my bias is bearish. It would be nice if you got a retest of this area. That would have been a really nice short from 92, not 192, 92. Retest that level and then see some downside from that area. That way you can get your stop loss to break even, take some profit off the table before coming into a strong low like this at 86. So yeah, oil, you might be able to catch some buys to the upside, but they will be short-lived most likely. So I do expect this to eventually to break. So maybe for oil, you can catch some buys from 86, back up to possibly 88.50. And then you probably want to be out the trade, or at least take a lot of your profit by that time. So yeah, 86, probably catch a nice bounce, push to 88.50, and then get out the trade. And if you really want to, you can probably look to sell it back down there from there. But obviously be careful because you're not too far away from a strong support. So yeah, oil, slight bounce to the upside, but I do see this one breaking through that floor probably this week, to be fair. So I wouldn't hold them to buys for too long. I'll take a look at AUDNZD. So AUDNZD still slowly making its way to the downside. We have climbed back underneath this resistance here. So I'm still looking at us pushing into the low of the channel, as you can see. So I'm still looking at a price pushing to the low of the channel here, which is around the 1.08, 1.06 area, and we are rejecting this quite nicely. As you can see, the market's making those consistent lower highs there. 1, 2, 3, potentially a fourth one could be forming. So essentially for AUDNZD, to be fair, it's almost a range, so probably not the best conditions to go short, but generally speaking, if you can get a short anywhere near here, stop loss above the zone, you should be okay and expect the breakout to the downside. Or you could wait for the consolidation to break, wait for some volume to come back into the market, and then catch the break and retest and head short. Either which way, as long as we can hold that level there, which corresponds to that prior daily high, as long as we can hold that level, I would expect us to see another drop to the downside and a push to the lows of the bullish ascending channel. And from there, you can look to exit and take your profit coming to this sort of area, which, like I said, 108, 106 into that area. So yeah, that's what I'm favoring for AUDNZD. It's lacking a lot of momentum. It's very, very choppy, which is not really what I want to see. I want to see a lot of momentum, which is a good sign. You can ride at the back of that. This is very, very corrective, but if you're looking to trade this, shorts look good, a lot of confidence in your favor. You can either wait to short the highs of the range or wait for the consolidation to break. And then yeah, catch the sells to the downside, back into that level down there. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Gold, I'll take a look at gold. That's actually one of the pairs that I'm looking to trade. NZD CAD will get onto. Euro USD, we'll have a look as well. Seems again going choppy zone. Is a good idea to take a long from the bottom and short for the top of the range. Okay, I'll take a look at Euro USD after. No problemo. So yeah, gold for this one, still looking at getting short. Analysis has been the same for quite some time, looking for these lows to be taken out. Not too sure if we take out this week. Depends what happens really. We could see a huge bearish week, but I do expect them to go. So I'm still looking at lower highs being continuously printed for this one for gold. So gold actually did tap into my area of interest. So if you quickly just jump onto the old trading view, I gave out two levels, 1724 and 1740, I believe. So yeah, 1724 and 1740. So we've just about tapped into the first level there. So this is where I expect the market to potentially continue bearish and see some more downside. But it happened during the Asian session, so I'm not awake during that time. Price to react was at 2 a.m. coming into that area. Now we're seeing some downside, but we can still look to get involved. It just might not be at that area. We do have this resistance here. The market's had a break of. Now it's breaking back inside. And this possibly giving us a nice head and shoulder pattern here. And that will be our right shoulder resistance. So obviously left shoulder, head, potential right shoulder. And from that little break and retest, we can sell it back down to these lows here, which is around 1700. So, big level to target, actually 1700. And then if you want to push the trade further, like I said, I see those weekly lows and those wicks being taken out eventually at 1676. So if you really want to push the trade, or just leave a little bit to run, just in case price does go and have that breakout, 1676 will be a good target as well. But yeah, for me, I see gold still heading to the downside. This could be our next lower high in respect to that high up there. So low, pullback, high, low, pullback, next lower high. Now we can see the continuation back to the downside. So yeah, for me, gold, expecting more downside. If you're looking at shorts, nice little retest of 1715 looks good, something like that. And then yeah, break and retest of that, probably entries maybe the 30-minute time frame, or 15 or whatever time frame you look to trade to. And you can look for 1700, which is around about here, or push down to the lows there, which are around 1694. So yeah, that's what makes the most sense to me right now for gold. And even if we do start pushing to the upside again, I'll be looking at 1740 up there for my next kind of main level to short the market. But in terms of direction, targets, everything, very bearish on gold still, and still expecting this to roll over. So yeah, more downside for gold. NZD CAD, I'll move on to Euro USD. Euro pound, I'll get into that as well. Please see ADJY going upside too correctively. Yeah, I mean, it could roll over because of that, but we'll have to see. I mean, right now, yen is very, very weak. Aussie is a little bit weak too, but I think yen is really controlling things right now. But I'll get into that in a second. NZD CAD, where are you? There you are. Okay, NZD CAD still correctively rolling over to the downside. Again, bearish on this guy, looking for us to go and take out these lows here at 0.79. So I'm still expecting more downside for NZD CAD. We had this key level of support, so formed that lower low, sorry. Then we had this resistance here, price respected many times, support there as well. And then we respected it quite nicely last week. And I did say last week, as long as we don't break through 0.80400, I'm expecting us to see another bearish leg back down to these lows. And that's what NZD CAD is doing, but it's very, very corrective. So I'm not the biggest fan of this price action here. When the market's like moving like this, I tend to either back away or make sure I'm entering, right at the highs of the consolidation or of the channel or something. Therefore, I can put my stop loss in a safe place. But essentially, for NZD CAD, we've just seen another bearish leg to the downside here on the 4H, and price is still trading within this channel. And the most important thing is we're still below 0.80400. So I'm still looking for this one to head to the downside. If you're looking to trade this, probably most likely want to see another pullback to the upside into the highs of the range. And then from there, to short to the downside, coming back into this 4H resistance. That makes the most sense to me, 0.80183, around about this area here. And then from there, you can look for your entries, maybe on the hourly, to take it back to the downside. That's if you're not already in the trade. But in terms of direction and targets, 0.79 back down to lows is where I see the market going. So as long as we stay in that channel, any upside you see most likely will be retracement. So you can look for your entry signals on the back of that, and catch the next bearish leg to the downside. Okay, Euro USD, we'll move on to Euro USD. So hopefully that made sense on NZD CAD. If not, let me know. So yeah, Euro USD is still in this range here. Like you said, price action is very, very choppy. I haven't traded Euro USD in a while now. It's just too corrective for me. It's not really doing what I wanted to do. I wanted to see the pullback, into this structure here. We've been flirting with that. So one spike and the second one. Didn't quite get the move into those areas I was looking for. Now we've rolled back over. So yeah, personally for me, this is not anything that I want to get involved with, to be honest. If you're really looking to trade Euro USD, like I said, last week, look to trade at the lows and the highs of the range. That's the best way to trade it, because then you can get A stop loss that is well protected. If price is going to hit your stop loss, most likely it's going to break out anyway. So that's when you place your stop loss. You don't want to be placing your stop loss within the range, because any fluctuation can go and take out that stop loss, and you get a failed trade for no reason really. But we still got the 50%, which is around here, 0.99794, 50% of the range. Let's see if that is correct. Just off a little bit, but more or less that's around the 50% of the range. So this is like our no trade zone. You don't want to be taking trades at the 50% of the range. That's like the max fluctuation price can really get, furthest away from the high and the low. So you can see prices spiked into the middle of the range, just reacted with that, seeing some downside from that. So if you're really looking to trade Euro USD, wait for price to push back in some of these areas here, around 0.99200 on the hourly time frame. So yeah, back into this area here would be nice. Let me actually get the line tool because I can't draw a straight line. There we go. So something coming into this support here, 0.99200, buys from that, and again back into the 50% will make a lot of sense. Or if you do push to the highs of the range, coming back into this high there would be nice. And then yeah, you can catch some nice sells right back down to the 50%, and then maybe to the full length of the range as well. So generally speaking, this is the area that you want to get involved with, or this area down here. In here is just a little bit too up and down for my liking, and yeah, I would personally stay away. So in terms of buys for Euro USD, like I said in my analysis, still short buys, still see the market heading lower. Personally, we could be dropping to 0.985, 9.98. I wouldn't be surprised if we're trading there in the next few days or so. So I do expect us to eventually break to the downside and continue the trend. Whether we break to the upside first and retest that level that I've been speaking about and then drop, or we just break out straight away. Either which way, I expect the market to go further. But if you're looking for trades like for today and right now, then just take advantage of the low and the high. Other than that, I'm not really seeing anything on Euro USD. To be honest, very, very difficult to find any good trades on that one. Unless you go in lower time frames, then yeah, maybe to get something. But looking at 4H hourly, yeah, it's looking a little bit of a myth really. So yeah, hopefully that made sense on Euro USD. Please let me know if you want me to clarify anything. Okay, so yeah, I'll take a look at okay, where am I? Pound yen. So I'll go over pound yen a little bit and euro pound. So I'm seeing a lot of that. Hey King City, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream, bro. How are you doing? Oil, I just took a look at oil. So if you scroll back a little bit, did take a look at oil. That was literally the pair I analyzed a couple of pairs ago. Euro yen, that is a pair that I'm looking at, so I'll definitely go over that, no problem. Hey Johnny, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Had trades on CAD YTP, got hit 4 hours ago. Nice. I suppose you were buying that then. Yeah, had buys, yeah, 100%, because CAD yen was flying. Hello online Herzl, welcome to the stream. I joined and sub to your channel. Thank you so much. Please, are you live every day? No, I'm actually live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 10 a.m. London time to 12 p.m. London time, so UTC +1. So yeah, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday I'm live. And I'll have a look at pound USD as well, no problem. But I did say I'll look at pound yen and euro pound first. So I'll get into those. So yeah, pound yen, I did take a look at this one before. Wow, it's still pushing. I thought we were going to probably slow down a little bit, but boy was I wrong. Price is still flying. So yeah, pound yen is, it's clearly breaking out the consolidation. I'll still wait for the daily candle closure to confirm that breakout, but most likely we're going to see the momentum sustain unless something crazy happens between now and the end of the day. But yeah, with the consolidation breaking out, momentum coming back into the charts, we're looking at overall 168 back to highs, because higher time frames for pound yen, monthly and weekly, are still quite bullish. Weekly is a little bit corrective, but the structure is still there in terms of the higher highs and higher lows. Weekly still bullish. Pound yen is still very, very bullish on the monthly as well. So looks like we're just seeing the higher time frames kick in and take control again. And now we're seeing the momentum come through on the 4H and the daily. So yeah, any corrections for this one looking good. 165, 168, 300. is looking like some good targets. Well, 165, 950. So almost actually 166 actually. But yeah, 165, 950, 168, 306 is where I do see the market heading to next. Again, if you're not really in buys for pound yen, you kind of want this to pull back first and then look to enter, because I'm looking on the hourly and 30-minute and everything is still flying. So if you're not really in the buy, you just got to wait patiently for a correction that may or may not happen, because we have been consolidating for quite some time. And sometimes when we consolidate for quite a while, we normally have big breakouts that don't really retrace. They do eventually retrace. Obviously, the market has to retrace eventually, but sometimes we see them fly for quite a period first, and then they start to retrace later on. It's not the usual breakouts where you have the nice breakout, the retest, and then continuation. Sometimes when we've had big consolidation, price flies for quite a bit first. But yeah, if you can get any correction, that would be great. High, low. I said these would be great areas to buy from. Whether we pull back to those areas or not, it's completely up to the market. But as it stands, 163, 200 and 162, 650 looks like some great buys. And I'm looking at 165, 950 and 168. So yeah, buys for pound yen look very good. Breakouts looking good. We'll see if it can be confirmed by the daily candle closure. Most likely it will be, unless something crazy happens. But yeah, waiting for some retracement and then yeah, following up momentum to the upside. Euro pound. Okay, Euro pound sees some downside coming to that resistance. Is it breaking through this level here? Well, it's coming back to retest it right now. So we'll see what Euro pound can does at this level, because this was a very strong level as resistance. Previously, as you can see here on the daily time frame, a lot of wicks into this area, a big spike to the upside, came back underneath, tried to use that support but did fail, and now we're back above this level. So if we can hold 0.858 as support, I would expect to see some more upsides for Euro pound. If we climb back in, then we could actually see price go and fulfill that range again, back down to this area here. But this could be a nice little target there as well, 0.85 as well. So yeah, if Euro pound can hold this high, I would expect to see some more upside. Obviously right now everything is still pretty bearish, as you can see on the hourly 4H, no real confirmations that we're holding this level or about to go bullish. So if we do break through that, you can look for the break and retest and trade it to 0.85, which is down here. But yeah, for me, Euro pound still looking bullish on the higher time frame. So if you can hold that resistance and support, I would favor price to continue bullish. But we'll see what the daily candle does, because if it closes back below, then we can look for the break and retest and trade that further to the downside. But yeah, not the biggest fan of Euro pound, definitely on the recent price action. It's a very corrective pair. I like pairs that trend and give me some nice lower highs and high lows to work with. Euro pound does that, but you can see it's a very choppy pair. So sometimes difficult to get the clean setups. But yeah, the price action does stand. If you can hold that level, you can look to trade that momentum to the upside. So yeah, what pair did I say I'll look at again? Okay, so yeah, pound JPY, Euro pound, Euro JPY. Okay, I'll take a look at that one, and pound USD as well. I'll take a look at pound USD. So Euro JPY is actually a pair that I was looking to trade this week. Still am looking to trade. It's only Tuesday. I'm acting like it's end of the week already. So yeah, it's still Tuesday, so I'm still looking to trade this one, but I didn't quite see the retracement I was looking for. I was looking for a retest of this structure here at 138. So a retest of that would have been nice. Look for the higher low. I think it lined up with 0.5 or 0.618 of the fib as well. And I was looking for some buys here to go long, and long-term targets for Euro Yen is back at these highs. Well, actually long-term targets are actually all the way at 148. This is where I do see price heading towards in the monthly chart. So for me, I do see a lot more upside for Euro Yen, so not too bothered. That price hasn't quite hit my entry level, because, you know, if my analysis is correct, you know, 148 is where we should be heading towards. So there most likely will be a retracement at some stage. We can get in and take advantage of those buys. We don't have to take advantage of every single pip. You know, if you can get 100, 200, that's fantastic. So yeah, Euro yen, looking for some more upside. 138 was the area of interest. Looks like we might not see that move anymore. But these are the levels I'm looking at, 142 and 144 as targets. If we could probably retrace back into this area, now that we've tested it for a second time, this could be a nice area to look at, 139 for a retest of. Right now, there's nothing really to do with Euro yen. I wouldn't look to buy it. It's really ripped to the upside. If you weren't already in the move, there's nothing really much to do unless you're looking to take advantage of some retracement. Then fair enough. I wouldn't really, advise for that. Just be a bit patient, wait for the pullback to come through, and then you can look to take advantage of that momentum. But yeah, for me, Euro yen, still very, very bullish. Looking for 142 next, then 144. Any pullbacks you can get, most likely would be formation of a higher low. And yeah, take that momentum to the upside. But yeah, bias is bullish for this one. So looking for a pullback, and I'm expecting new highs past 144 soonish, maybe this week. We'll see what type of momentum we can get. But yeah, Euro yen, I'm expecting more upside. Just want to see some pullback. Okay, pound USD as well. We've seen some upside for this one. Again, still treating that as retracement. We are still looking for those COVID lows to be taken out, which we're not too far away from now, which is crazy. Crazy. Remember when the COVID lows formed, people saying, new bottom for the market, not coming back to those prices. And now we're almost about to take them out, which is a crazy turn of events. But yeah, pound USD, still expecting these lows to be taken out at 1.14. So any upside we see, most likely will be retracement. And then again, looking to short it right back down again. So yeah, any upside, most likely form a lower high. And that will give us a good opportunity to get back on the shorts, just take advantage of the trend. This is a very, very key level around here at 1.175. So retracement into that would be fantastic. We are seeing some bullish momentum here in the 4H and the hourly. So hopefully we can push a little bit further to the upside to some of these areas here. And from there we can look for that next little high and short it back down really. That's all I'm waiting for pound USD. See, pound USD is a lot clearer than Euro USD. Euro's kind of just in a box moving all over the place, whereas pound USD is trending very, very well. So if we see some upside, most likely we'll just form another lower high, and that's where we place our shorts, stop loss above, and then take advantage of the move. It's a lot simpler to trade. I'm not saying that you always get a successful trade, but it's just a lot easier to trade and base trade from, whereas Euro USD is just a little bit all over the place. So yeah, pound USD a lot cleaner for this one. Still expecting 1.14 to be taken out. So this upside looks good. Hopefully we can do it again to the upside in near enough the 1.175 area, and from there looking for the next lower high to short it right back down. And you can take advantage of the buys if you want as well, to the upside if that's what you're looking for. For me, I'll just wait for the sells, but yeah, you can take advantage of some buys, but be aware that the higher time frames are definitely against you. Monthly, weekly, daily, all still points to the downside. So if you're on buys, you want to be taking profits and not marrying the trades too much. No problem, happy to help. Why trades hit break even go your way so crazy? I mean that's just trading, to be fair. It's not all the time, but I think there is I think the better you get at your trading style, the less that happens, because the way I see it is if trades hit you at break even and then go in your direction, the way I see is that you've entered too early into the move. So say you get a good entry trade, let me just show it to you guys visually. Say you get a good entry, price comes into your area of interest or wherever where you're looking to buy, you get entry signal, you buy the market, and say it goes to the upside but it comes back down, hits you break even and then moves. Again, your analysis was correct, direction, targets even correct as well if it goes and hits your TP, so everything was correct. you just got into the trade too early. This is where you should be buying. It's obviously come back to the same area because it's hit you break even, which means come back to the same price you entered at. So even the level that you're entering at is correct as well. It's just that you entered too early, which is why I'm also a big fan of not necessarily taking the first tap or first move into a level, maybe waiting for the second or waiting for price to push away and then look to get involved. I'm not really keen on being the first person to enter at my levels. I want price to react a little bit, maybe even hit a second time, and that's when I'll look to enter. But yeah, that's the way I look at it when you get tapped out of break even. Similar to my CAD CHF trade last week. To be fair, this one's not moving that well, so it's not the best example, but I did get into an entry here with stop loss just underneath. Was moving pretty well, but then as you can see, it came right back to my same entry level. Tapped it and then absolutely started flying to the upside. And again, it's the same thing. Got into the trade too early. If I entered there, I'll still be in the trade right now. I mean, it doesn't mean that will go and hit my TP. It might still come back and take me out of break even again. I mean, that's just the nature of CAD CHF, to be honest. It's very, very up and down pair. But yeah, that's the way I see it. Or the second way you can see it is that maybe you're managing the trade a little bit too aggressively, which could be another aspect. To be fair, it's a bit of both, really. It's a bit of both. You can never get perfect. Trades hitting you out at break even it's always going to happen. It will happen less and less and less the better you get, but it will always happen because you won't be able to time the market perfectly. Sometimes you might wait for an entry and you've missed it and you should have entered, and stuff like that can happen. So it's a bit of a grey area, but you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, and that's why it's important to bank partials as well. So when things do hit you break even, at least you're still taking partial wins. Might not be taking full TPs, but you're still banking some profit, which is always a good thing. Okay, so where was I? Was in euro pound, hit break even, running 50 pips. Yeah, just gotta move on, man. Again, sometimes you can look to get in, like the CAD CHF. I could have looked to get in, but I was too busy focusing on some other pairs when I should have looked to enter back into the same trade. So sometimes they do give you some entries to get back in, but again, not all the time. It's really annoying when it's like a wick into your entry price and then price reverses. But yeah, make sure you do take partials. So if that happens, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that helped. US 30, sure thing, no problem. We'll take a look. US 30, sure thing. Gold, of course. Hey, thank you so much, Philip. Thank you so much, my man. Yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Leave a like. Like target is 60 likes for the stream, so let's see if we can hit 60 likes. Much appreciated for people who do like the stream, and also leave the kind messages in the chat. I love to hear that. A lot of positive feedback from my previous week analysis video, which was great to see, guys, so thank you a lot for that. But yeah, into US 30. So yeah, US 30 still looking bearish again. Looking for us to return back down to these lows eventually, but we are coming to some areas where we could see a bounce to the upside. Price doesn't move in straight lines all the time. It will have periods of fluctuation, as you can see on the left there. So this is an area where we could see some upside. Resistance here, big move to the downside, support there, big move to the upside. So this area, which is around 31,300, we could see a bit of a bounce here to the upside, form that next lower high, something like that, and then drop to the downside, which is actually a good thing because that would be a great place to look for entries to short. So this area here would be a great place for some short entries, and also this area up here. One of those two areas, if you can see a push into one of those two areas, looking for shorts, full H hourly, or whatever time frame you're looking to enter. And Jay can probably take advantage of some really nice swings if this bearish trend does continue, of course. But like I said, price is trading at some key support right now. So sells for me is a bit of a no-go if you're not really in the trade. I wouldn't look to jump in right now. We are trading at some support, and yeah, price is really lacking in momentum right now as well. So yeah, with this one, if you can see some upside into 32,200, that would be great. Sales from up there make a lot of sense, and even if you push a little bit past that, and 32,800 make a lot of sense as well. So yeah, if you really want to trade US30, buys from this area would look good as well. Obviously a little bit up against momentum, but I would expect to see some retracement from this area. And then yeah, 32,200 and 32,800 look great for some sales into some nice areas. So yeah, monitor price action here, price action, candlestick patterns, and boom, look to enter and take advantage of those swings. But yeah, US30 still bearish. Like I said, 29,866 back down to those lows is where I do see price heading towards. So any upside we see, just going to treat that as retracement and look to short the rallies, basically short the rallies back down again. So yeah, US30 bearish bias and looking for us to return back down to those lows. Let me know what you guys are planning to do on US30 as well. Do you have similar analysis, or are you looking at something different, or you're focusing on buys, or you're looking at to sell at a different area? Let me know, because obviously everyone looks at the market slightly differently. We're using the same tools really, unless you're using a different strategy. But again, people draw the level slightly different, interpret the market slightly different as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys are looking at for US30. Do you even have the same bias? But for me anyway, I would expect that to continue down after some retracement. Okay, gold, no problem. We'll have a little look. Euro yen, I'll go into that as well. Euro CHF, I'll have a little look as well. NAS, no problem. What monitor am I using? I'm using, to be fair, I've had these monitors for quite a while, so I'm not actually sure of the make. I mean, it says Philips here, 278E. So I don't know if that's the inches, but it says, yeah, Philips 278E. And then this one's Acer Leo Technology. I'm trying to look at the branding. Yeah, I've had them for quite a while. So yeah, Philips 278E and Acer Leo Technology. Probably just Google that and something might come up. But yeah, I've had them for a while. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to take a look at those pairs. So what did they say again? Okay, gold, Euro yen. Okay, so gold. Yeah, so gold for this one, like I said earlier, bearish bias still intact. Still looking at this one heading a lot lower. We do have this nice little head and shoulder pattern that looks to be forming here, and it's at that 1725 area that I've been calling since last week. So you can see the head and shoulder pattern forming now. We've got the left shoulder there, head and right shoulder, just taking that level across. We've broken back inside that range, so a nice little retest, maybe on the hourly or the 30-minute, will present some nice longs there, and then yeah, I mean shorts there, sorry, nice shorts, and then yeah, take it to the downside off the back of that. And targets, you could be looking at 1700 here. That would be a nice target to have. Big psychological level for gold. But truly speaking, I do expect us to go a lot further than that. So you can be targeting these lows here on the left, or 1676, which are the weekly lows, which I do expect us to eventually go and take out. Maybe not this week, it might be a next week or even a week after that. Depends what price action we can get, but I do expect us to take out those lows. So yeah, gold, bearish bias, tapped into that level very nicely, seeing some downside. Nice little retest of that level there, 1715, 1714. And then yeah, shorts the downside, 1700, 1694, and then 1676. And basically just looking for a nice head and shoulder pattern, left, head, right, looking for that next lower high. And then yeah, move to the upside. But yeah, for me, gold, bearish, still expecting the market to head lower. And yeah, Euro yen, like I said before, still very bullish for this one. Looking at us reaching these highs here, 142, 144 are my targets for Euro Yen. That's what I see the market heading towards in the next few days, maybe a week or so. Those are the swing targets for Euro Yen. So any retracement we can get, most likely will just be a pullback to form another higher low, and that's when we can look to enter the market. Coming into the week, I was looking at this level here, back at 137,900, but obviously you can see we didn't get that retracement into that level, unfortunately. But we have formed this new level here, which price respected here quite well yesterday, and we flew to the upside. So any retracement into 139 would definitely interest me for some longs. And yeah, still just trying to ride this bullish momentum to the upside, really. Higher time frames, I still see this moving higher. Monthly, weekly, still pretty bullish. And long term, I do see it heading up to 148. So for the foreseeable future, as long as price doesn't break structure, I'll still be, looking to long Euro Yen. So I'm not too fast that I haven't got that entry back down there. I mean, that would be a really, really nice entry, to be fair, because then, you can really just swing the trade all the way to the highs and really take advantage of the pips. But then again, we don't always get the entries we're after. Have to react into and adapt to what the market's giving us. And 139 is looking good, and we'll go from there. Again, the market could change. I mean, by Thursday, maybe there could be a new level that I'm looking at that's saying if price can retest this level, I'll look to get long. So, new levels create, and then I have to react and keep up with that. But as things stand right now, the levels I'll be looking at on the 4H time frame is 139, and I'll still be looking at 138 if the market's kind enough to get back down there. I highly, highly doubt it, but if it does, bullish bias all the way. So yeah, 142 and 144 are my targets for Euro Yen. So I do see the market heading higher. Euro AUD, I will have a little look see, no problem. So yeah, Euro AUD, this one a little bit choppy. I prefer Euro NZD, very, very similar pairs, but Euro NZD was moving a lot better and actually had the breakout of that level there. It's slightly reacting to that level, but I want to see price, get back underneath that before I even consider to short the market again. But Euro AUD is actually still trading in a really nice area of resistance here at 1.47. Personally, I don't want to go short here because I can still see maybe a pop to the upside for Euro AUD and then the push back down again. Because what I'm looking at is this structure here, form the low, high, low, high, low, high. Then we had this big move to the downside, breaking through structure here and forming new lower low past this point down here. Now I'm looking at correction. I'm looking at breaking through some resistance for that correction, and then looking at the continuation to the downside back down to lows. Because long term, I still see this one pushing down to 1.4. We got as low as 1.3, and I still see 1.4 being hit eventually. So maybe you might push up a little bit higher and then get the correction back down again. If I do whip out the old Fibonacci as well, you can see we've got the 50%, 0.618, and this is generally speaking where I expect the market to pull into, and from there as well, as where Woods sells look a lot better. It's kind of a similar setup to what's happening on Euro NZD, but in Euro NZD we've kind of already hit this area, so that's why I'm looking for sales for that one. This one we haven't quite hit that area yet. We might not do it, but that's where I'll look for sales for this one. So yeah, Euro NZD still got a bearish bias. This is a nice resistance, but personally I do see price breaking through. Again, it's not due to technicals, a bit more of a hunch really that I see price breaking through. Hard to explain, but that's the area that I'll look to sell it at. So if you can see that breakout test around about the 1.49 mark, that'll be a fantastic place to get short. You can still look to short from here because it's still a great level. But again, don't be too stingy with your targets. This is a great target to have as a first target, 1.46. Price is respecting that area quite well there on the hourly. Nice bearish engulfing. So that could be a first target to have. Second target coming into these lows here as well. Third target coming into these lows here as well. So look to play it like that, because I still do see us rolling over, hitting 1.4. But those are the areas that you might want to bank some partials as price moves, just in case if my level 1.49 does get hit, something like that, you can look to max some partials and protect your trade a little bit. So yeah, Euro AUD, great place to sell. But for me, I'm waiting for price to push a little bit higher into around the 1.49 mark, and that's where I'll look for my entries. Similar to pound AUD as well, I do see that one going a little bit higher, 1.7, 1.725, and then from there, some entries will be looking good for the next swing high to develop. Euro CHF, I did say I'll look at that one, so I'll take a look at Euro CHF. NAS 100, no problem, we'll take a look. Good morning, Paul, welcome to the stream. AUD, I'll get into that, no problem. Hey, thank you, Emmanuel. Smash the like button, let's get it to 60 likes. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, that is the like target. Let's see if we can hit that like target. If you are enjoying the stream, finding it useful, feel free. Drop a like, make my day. Okay, so yeah, Euro AUD, and I said Euro CHF, and then we'll take a look at what pair did I say? NAS. So yeah, I'll take a look at NAS. Hey, Old Man FX, what is up? I'll take a look at EuroCAD as well. Do you check previous month's high and low? Not all the time. I have done previously, but I don't do it religiously. Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, that's the word. I don't do it religiously. Sometimes I do when price is like quite extreme, like for the yen pairs, like when price was trading highs, like for example, USD JPY, looking at previous candle monthly highs to see if we're trading above that or below. Well, clearly for USD JPY, we're trading past August month's highs. But if we were stuck on August month's highs and not breaking through that, that'll be a nice place to base some shorts from. But yeah, I don't really do it that much really, so it's not really part of my plan, it's not really part of my trading style. I would do it for confidence reasons, but I don't do it enough for me to say I really use it, to be fair. So yeah, I do look at it sometimes, but not that much really. Not that much. Waiting for some liquidity on US 30 since yesterday there was a bank holiday. Sells below the last low makes sense. Yeah, US 30, I just looked at that one. It was very, very dry, moving sideways. I thought today it might kick into action a little bit, like the FX pairs, but still a little bit dry. I'll go over that in a second a little bit. I'll take a look at NAS as well. But first, I did say I'll look at Euro CHF. Euro CHF's not even there. What are the chances? To be fair, I haven't actually looked at Euro CHF in a while, so that does make sense. Okay, Euro Swiss. So yeah, Euro Swiss, last time I was looking at this, we were making some new all-time lows. Yeah, we were making some new all-time lows past the wick there at 0.96554. So we just wicked through and then we pull back up a little bit. Again, it hasn't changed too much. We could see some upside from that. But until we see that structure kind of break, I'm still expecting us to probably head lower, to be honest. To be fair, we have seen a break structure down in 4H pushing past that high. To be fair, it's up to your trading style. For me, I'll never really look to take a long here. It's just too aggressive for me. I know price has taken out the lows there and has had a break of structure, so that's two confluences there. But personally, this is never really a trade that I'll look to take. I'd rather price has a push to the upside, and then I'll look for some sells, around about here-ish. That'll be a nice place to sell the market. That's more type of my trade. So in terms of just looking at the market, I would expect it to retrace. A nice buy off that high would look good, which is 0.9691110. A break and retest of that look good. So if the market can have one more drive lower, retest this area, look for longs at that area, probably push it back into these highs, take advantage of a trade like that. Like I said, never really my cup of tea, but that was the daily time frame. That was the daily. I thought that was the 4H, my bad. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. You probably take you don't have to look for the bigger swing then. On the 4H time frame, it still stands, same price action. Come into this level here, 0.97, retest that, look for one more bearish leg, and then take some buys to the upside. And again, you don't have to push the trade too far. That high could be a good target to have, but like I said, this 0.98 looks like a good target as well. So yeah, Euro CHF, I do see some upside, but like I said, purely retracement. and I do think the market can still roll over, but it might want to have a bit more upside first, and then then roll over later on, maybe next week or something like that. But yeah, Euro CHF 0.96, call it 0.97, break and retest of that level there. Look for some highs, look for some signs of reversal confirmations, and then yeah, look to buy it from there, and then yeah, push it right back to the previous high. So yeah, Euro CHF does look good for some buys. Does look good at some buys, but again, don't marry those trades because momentum is still pretty bearish, and I wouldn't be surprised if you just kiss the highs and roll back over again. Okay, so I'll go look at NAS because that is the pair I said I'll look at next, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I'm going to take a look at NAS. Hopefully that made sense on Euro CHF, and I'll take a look at EuroCAD as well. And yeah, I'll look at USD CHF. Hey Kiki, welcome to the stream. Have a great day. Yeah, you too. Okay, Mikey. Okay, so you changed your name, or it's a different profile. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Hope you are good. So we'll take a look at NAS. And I'll take a look at EuroCAD, and then USD CHF. Okay, there you are. Okay, so yeah, similar analysis to US 30, expecting some upside, but long term, these lows here are the targets, 11,200. That's what I see the market heading towards. But we might do a little bit of upside, from the next lower high and then drop to the downside. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. As to where that can happen, again, similar analysis to US 30 in terms of the levels, pretty much identical. If I go US 30 quickly, you can see I'm looking at these wicks up here, these two wicks there on the daily time frame, and this area. If I go on to US 100, it's the exact same thing. Those two wicks there and that area, that same thing. Indices kind of move in the same direction. So if you are looking to trade them, you just pick one indice, whichever one looks the best, or risk to reward or whatever. But just pick one and work with that one, because the price action and analysis, although they do differ slightly, in terms of direction, they're pretty much the same really. So just focus on one of them. But yeah, for this one, that area looks fantastic. Also lines up with that resistance there as well. So 12, was that 12,600? Well, kind of a bit of range, 12,600. Well, it starts at 12,500. So yeah, anywhere between 12,500, 12,600. That's where I expect the next lower high to form, or we might push a little bit higher into 12,800 and then drop. But long term, this is what I see the market doing, into one of those areas, and then the big drop to the downside. So those are the swing opportunities. We are coming into this area here, which is why I think we can get a bit of a bounce. Was resistance once, second time support there as well. So you could see a bit of a bounce because of that area there. But I just think it's just going to give us another retracement. So we might do something like this, up into the high, spike into there, and then drop. Or we might go a little bit higher and then drop, something like that. But yeah, US 100, if you want to look for some short-term buys, feel free. It's a nice little area. But I see the sells where the money's still at. So you can be patient, wait for some sells, wait for some confirmations in those areas, and take it down. And take them down. So yeah, that's what I see for US 100. Hopefully that makes sense. EuroCAD, I did have a look at this one earlier in the stream. This one's trading at a really nice area. We do have this wick here on the weekly time frame, which I've marked off there. I still do see the market heading a lot lower to 1.25. So I still do see the trend continuing, but we might have a bit of a correction first, before we see that trend continue. Right now we're trading in a range. You have the wick there acting as support as well, which is this line. Then we've got the range here. This level here at 3.11 is 50% of the range. So looking for price basically to just a bounce from these lows here into 50% and then into the full kind of range 1.32. If we break the low of the range, then we're coming back down to these lows here. So you can look for something like this. I still break and retest and trade it back down to the lows there at 1.2881. So either which way, you can take advantage of the trades here. Buy and sells don't really have to kind of predict which way price is going to go. If we do break the lows here, that's where I expect the market to head to. If we can hold this support level, that'd be nice for some buys. Price is looking quite bearish right now. It's really pushing. But yeah, if we can hold the support there, that's where I expect it to go. And then 1.32 as well. But yeah, price is really Is there some news out? Is there some news out? Let me go and check quickly. I haven't actually looked at the news for today, actually. I know we do have ECB, but is that later this week? Okay, so we don't have any Euro news right now. It's just okay. We do have some dollar news at 245, and then we have PMI at 342. But yeah, nothing too crazy. Price is just active. So yeah, for EuroCAD, a little bit more downside into the support, and if you can see a nice change in momentum, that'd be great. That'd be for some great buys. And then 1.31 and 1.32 looks like some good targets. And if the support doesn't hold and we break to the downside, then we've got some lows there to look at as well. But yeah, EuroCAD, I do see this one. Heading back to those highs at 1.32. And yeah, maybe even higher as well, because I do expect to see some retracement, but the market is still bearish. So long term, I do see us, pushing to 1.25. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that made sense in EuroCAD. USD CHF, we'll have a look, see. Yep, everybody method is slightly different. Your microphone is also crisp and clear. Yeah, I did actually get a new microphone, to be fair. I actually did get a new microphone because my other microphone was a little bit broken, and the audio quality wasn't that good, so I just thought I'd get a new one. So yeah, glad you noticed. But yeah, so what was I talking about? Yeah, EuroCAD, hopefully that made sense in EuroCAD. Everybody's method is definitely slightly different. You could be using the exact same tools, but you can use it in a slightly different way, which is, why you have to be very, very on point and not let other people's trades and other people's thing affect you. Because, if you do, that means you're going to throw off your game and your trading edge, and that's just going to spiral out of control big time. Let other people take their trades, win, lose, but just focus on your trades at the end of the day. Okay, I'll get to USD CHF. What are the pair? Are you trading pure price action? Yeah, pure as it gets. Pure. Like I've been saying, that the four main pillars of my strategy, or my style, if you will, is candlestick patterns, support and resistance, market structure, and multi-time frame analysis. Basically, I'm just combining them together to give me good confluence, map out where the next swing could potentially form, and then trade that swing, basically. All I'm looking at, basically the kind of foundation of my trading style is market structure. Highs and lows. If the markets give me lower lows and lower highs, I'm selling. If the markets give me higher highs and higher lows, I'm buying. Simple as that. And then obviously multi-time frame analysis, combining different structures together to get the most probable direction as well. So if the monthly's bullish, weekly's bullish, daily's bullish, 4H is bullish, you best believe that I'll be buying that market if I can get some good retracement, and same thing vice versa. Okay, so yeah, I'll take a look at USD CHF. Market is breaking everything, I know. I already answered that question. NAS seems to be trying to break the previous high in the 5-minute time frame. Okay, I'll go have a look on the 5-minute. Hey Warty, Euro ends these sales running 47 pips. Can I still look to your swing target, or should I look for short-term sales? Okay, I'll have a little look after USD CHF. Yeah, see you tomorrow. What? It's funny every time I say that. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Okay, so USDC Chef. USDC Chef. Okay, yeah, USDC Chef's at a nice little area where I think we can have a bit of retracement. But like I've said last week, I'm still looking for price to reach those highs again. So there's a chance that price might just break straight through these highs and just flip all the way up to 1. That is definitely a possibility. But we've already had quite an overextended leg right now. So I do think we can see a bit of retracement, higher low formation, maybe coming back into this consolidation here. And then from there is where I expect the market to bounce and then go bullish. We might just... what happened there? We might just break through this and just continue to fly anyway. So with USDC Chef, I see this one going up still. Monthly candlestick close, very, very bullish. Nice little wick to the downside. So I do expect this next monthly candle to push, kind of fill up the gap into those highs. So I do still see the market pushing bullish, but it's up to the market whether it wants to have that retracement or not. So yeah, it's a little bit choppy in here. Would be a nice little break retest of that low, but the market's just closed back above that, so that kind of invalidates that opportunity. But essentially, if you can hold that level, sales will look good for the time being, but I do see the market going bullish again long term. So even if it does break through this, then yeah, buys on top of 0.98400 look good as well, and just take that momentum. Because like I said, still bullish on dollar. I do expect dollar to retrace, but I just expect dollar's going to form a higher low and continue going up. And as long as dollar's bullish, USDC Chef most likely will head in the same direction as well. Now, I generally thought I blocked you. These bots are getting clever. Okay, so hopefully that made sense there on USDC Chef. If not, let me know. If you want me to take a look at the lower time frames, like 30 minute, 50 minute, let me know as well, because I do look at lower time frames. I mean, not personally, I stick to the higher time frames, but if you do want me to take a look at the lower time frames, just let me know, like I'll do on NAS. Okay, so I'll look at NAS 5 minute, and then I'll jump onto USD. Okay, so all the way to that's 10 minute, 5 minute. Okay, so yeah, 5 minute time frame. We've seen some really nice bullish structure. We had a big build up in price action over here, and price has kind of left that right now. And now price has been forming consistent higher lows here, which is beautiful, and higher highs. So yeah, I would expect us to push through. We've actually just broke through this high here on the left. So most likely, from a 5 minute perspective, we're probably going to push right back to those highs there. Let me just clean this up a little bit. Bye-bye. So yeah, most likely we're going to push back to those highs at 12.233. Most likely we'll push it into those highs there. Again, ideally, you probably want to be in the trade down here, because right now it's kind of moving in action. This is a strong resistance and a key area on the 5 minute time frame, which is probably why we've got a bit of a reaction. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do tap into this area again and see another reaction. So if you are on the trade or looking to buy, do be wary of that 12.233 area. But if you can break through that next area of value, I'm looking at the high of the range here, because we did form a bit of a range there. And next value will be the high of the range at 12.302. So if you can break through this high, I do see the 5 minute push into 12.300 up there as well. And yeah, nice little correction would be nice, or break and retest of the low of the range and get back into it that way. But yeah, price is definitely a little bit excited right now on the 5 minute, but I would expect this to push a little bit high into those highs. I don't know if you're looking at a similar thing, but yeah, you are right. Momentum is looking good. If you're looking to sell USD on the 5 minute, I'll definitely wait for some structure to break here first, and then look for some sells. Everything is still looking quite bullish. Okay, so I'll jump onto USD. So yeah, USD was the pair that I was actually mainly focused on this morning. Okay, nice reaction to the downside there. Nice, USD, nice. Pity didn't hold on to my level because I would look to get short. But yeah, it looks like it's climbing back below. So yeah, the swing target I had for USD is still very much on. It's still very much on, still very much a possibility as well. But the only thing is that we have to be careful because the market does have this bullish structure and it could still head higher. You know, I'm looking for the next lower high to form for USD, but it doesn't necessarily have to be here. It could have one more leg, form it there and then drop, which is why we just got to be careful and take our profit. So it depends how far you want to push the trade. Yes, I do see it still getting there. It's still very much valid. I get my buys from the higher time frames and nothing's changed from the higher time frames. So I still do expect it to head to 1.59. But I've drawn out many levels here that you probably want to be taking profit at, or think about taking profit, or stop loss to break even, something you just don't want to hold full volume all the way down there, because there's a lot of areas where price can retrace and reverse and just take away all your profits. So yeah, I still do expect us to get there, but 1.625 is a level of interest. 1.62, 1.611, 1.6 and 1.59. Those are the areas that you can look to take some profit at. But yeah, it's looking pretty good now. 2 hours and 32 minutes till this 4H candle closes. If it can close back underneath that zone, that would be very nice. And hopefully you can see momentum continue after that close. If it does pull back and rest on top of the level, that might be a little bit of a red flag, because we could see the next 4H candle open up bullish and start pushing back to your entry price. So if that happens, you know, maybe again take some partials or stop loss to break even or something like that, or you know, manage the trade. However, you know, your plan says to manage the trade. I'm just throwing different ideas out there for you. But yeah, in terms of analysis and everything, I still do expect to get down there. I'm still looking to get involved with this one. But yeah, it would be nice to see that 4H close back underneath that zone. Would be nice. But yeah, nice little trade there. Nice little trade. It's reacting off that at level there, which is what I said we potentially could see a reaction off, but it just wasn't, you know, a strong enough level to interest me really. But yeah, everything is still on for USD. Hey Roshan, if pound USD closes exactly or inside the trend line 1.906, which is the resistance I'll be selling, but waiting for 4H close. So you're looking to sell pound USD from that? I mean, I'm expecting pound USD to continue to the downside as well. I'm looking for these lows to get taken out. We have seen quite strong moves similar to USD as well. Where's the trend line? Okay, so I assume you're talking about this trend line here, connecting those two prior swing highs, so 1 and 2, and the market's come back into this area now, as well as that resistance there. So some nice confluence, to be honest, some nice confluence. So you said you're looking to sell from this 1.906. Where is that? Yes, it's coming into this high there as well. So yeah, it does make sense. Again, this is a 4H level, you know, 4H level and a 4H trend line. So ideally, you want to be waiting for the 4H candle to close. So yeah, like you said, it makes perfect sense there. Hourly, you know, looking like it's having a nice little reaction there, which is a good sign. But 4-hour closes in 2 hours and 29 minutes. So if that can close with a big wick like that, that's a great sign, because now we've got a really nice extended wick rejection there. And then yeah, if I can close bearish or just below that level, that could be a nice little entry. And targets for that one, you've got the low here to look at. You got the low here to look at, which is at 1.895. And then obviously you got the lows down there, or how far you want to push the trade. But yeah, it definitely makes sense. Some nice confidence in that area. And if we see a 4H close above, so if we go and fill the wick, then it's best just to back away and move on to another opportunity, because price could still push higher. It could still push higher. But yeah, I'm still looking at this one coming a lot lower for pound NZD, but we might have another retest of some structure up here first before we go bearish. So do be careful of that. But in terms of confluence, yeah, it does line up quite nicely. So yeah, just wait 2 hours and 28 minutes for that 4H candle to close, and then you can base some nice shorts from that. Short-term sales, my entry 1.639. So yeah, let me take a look. So I shouldn't look at the entry. We go in the hourly time frame. What was that? 1.639. So yeah, entry's right up there. So yeah, you're good. You're Gucci. So yeah, for you, just focus on that 4H time frame. If we can close back below, that means momentum, sustain, and we can probably see another bearish leg to the downside. See another bearish leg to the downside, but yeah, looking pretty good so far. So hopefully we can go and hit. Hopefully you can go and hit. Hopefully you can go and hit the targets band there, because I'm still looking at sales. For this one, just didn't hold them to my level. So hopefully you can get into something later on in the week. Okay, so how do I enter my trades? Candlestick patterns on the hourly time frame. Yeah, there's not too much to be fair. There's no secret little formula that I use to enter my trades. It's basically candlestick patterns on the hourly time frame. Again, this is the trade that took last week. Nice little candlestick pattern. To be fair, the importance of a good entry level is like it accounts for like probably 75% of my entry. So the way I enter candlestick patterns, bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, pretty much the main candlestick pattern I focus on. But I make sure that I'm at good areas. So that's what really kicks in, because there's bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing patterns everywhere in the market. And if you're just looking for bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, you'll confuse yourself to death, because there's so many of those patterns. But they only become meaningful if it's at a good area of value, like this area here. We had this consolidation here on the left, price fake to the upside there, out of the consolidation, never got the retest, and then eventually we finally got the retest of the consolidation slash the low of the range, and from there is where I got my entry, bullish engulfing in the trade. Now I'm still currently in that trade, so it's coming back into that consolidation there. So I'm still nursing this position, looking for some more entries, hopefully can get it later in the week. If not, it's fine. We can still just we'll profit anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, just think bearish engulfing patterns. I do have a video on my entry model and how I enter the market, so I'll leave a link to that in the chat. Make sure I remember at the end of the stream. But if you just go on my channel, if you go on my playlist, actually go under Forex Education, you'll find the video on my entries. There's actually two videos. One's like an entry concept, and the one's like the actual entry pattern. But yeah, I do have a video on that. And like I said, guys, I will be posting a video again this Friday. I'll be talking about where to enter trades in terms of best places to buy and best places to sell, which is another important concept for entries, because it's well and good having good entries, but if you're not entering the right areas, it doesn't really make too much of a difference. To be honest, because you'll see price go in your direction a little bit and then just reverse against you. So I'll be doing a video on that. So make sure you're subscribed and keep an eye out for that. Okay, I'll go and have a look at pound yen and USJPY. No problem. Bro, can you block this new? Yeah, I'm trying to block it. I don't know how to block it. I think I've done it. Because there's no actual block like button. Okay, and they're back, so they know I have not do it. Because basically I'm on the chat right now, and all I can see is pin message, which I definitely don't want to pin the message. Report, remove, put user in a timeout, or hide user on this channel. I've already done report. I'm not going to try pin message. I'm not going to put user in timeout, because that means they'll be back. I've hidden user from this channel, so yeah, I need to actually look into how to actually block, because there's no block thing there. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that actually, but I will figure that out. Okay, so yeah, we're going to take a look at pound yen and USDJPY. Hey Poppy, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hey Fabu, welcome to the stream. Hope I said that correctly. Or Tabu, welcome to the stream. Since you spoke about low time frames, I don't know if you can please try and maybe break it down for me as to how can use multi-time frame analysis using the low time frames. Okay, I'll do actually a whole video on that because it's difficult to explain that in 5 minutes. So I'll probably do a video on that, the whole concept of multi-time frame analysis, because it is a big part of my trading. But typically, if you are looking at low time frames using multi-time frame analysis, you don't want to go too high. Like for my trading, I'm using primarily 3 time frames, which is the daily, 4H, and the hourly. I do use weekly and monthly, but they're just for more long-term confluence, long-term analysis. But truly speaking, I generally look for the daily, 4H, and hourly to be in sync, and that's when I take my trades. Weekly, monthly is like a bonus. So if you're looking at the low time frames, like 5 minute, you don't want to be looking at the daily and the weekly too much. You can do as confluence, but in terms of entering, exiting trades, you want to be focusing on 3 time frames is a good soft spot. 2 if you don't have much experience, but 3 is a good soft spot if you can work it out. 1 for direction, 1 for looking at entry levels and patterns, and then 1 time frame for entry. So yeah, 3 is like a good soft spot, and you don't want them too far away as well. But I'll do a video on that going into more detail in the future, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, I can't really explain that in a few minutes, so I'll do a whole video on that. What about looking up for some moderators to your channel? You were managing unruly behaviors and lights. Yeah, I do need to get a moderator actually, to be fair, because it is a little bit challenging, trying to manage the comments and analyze the charts at the same time. My running run has come to an end. It was nice while it lasted. Yeah, it is always nice while it lasts, but then it's a good thing though. It's a good thing when it comes to an end, because now this is where it's a test of psychology. It's very, very easy to take trades when you're winning and be in a good mood when you're winning, and then journal your trades when you're winning and show up when you're winning. But when that streak comes to an end, because a lot of people after a good winning streak is when they go to a very, very bad losing streak and actually start to lose all their profits and more. I can't remember what the stat was, but the videos that FTMO produce on YouTube channel, and they talk about people who've made 20k or 50k or something like that this month from trading. I think it's like 80% of them go and lose their account the following month after getting that interview on YouTube, which is a very, very big eye-opener. Someone's done so well and then they go and lose their account the next month. You're like, what happened? What went wrong? You were doing so well the previous month. So now that you've taken the loss, this is the time where focus your plan, make sure you stick to your risk management, and then slowly you'll get back into another winning streak. So yeah, this is an important bit, because everyone can do well during a winning streak, but not everyone can do well when that loss comes, or you take 2 or 3 losses. So yeah, this is the testing bit, but well done for that though. Well done. Okay, so yeah, pound yen, I've looked at this one a couple of times and I'm basically looking at the exact same thing. We're still pushing, but yeah, waiting for some retrace and waiting for correction to come through, and then yeah, riding that momentum to the upside. I'm looking at 165.950 and I'm looking at 168.306 up there as targets, and that's where I'm expecting the market to head to now. I'm waiting for the daily candle to close to confirm the momentum, but when it closes, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we can look for some retracement to buy it back up and continue that momentum to the upside. So yeah, pound yen still very, very bullish on this one. If you're not already in buys, there's nothing really much to do now. I wouldn't really advocate looking for sells, to be honest, even in the lower time frames. So yeah, correction for this one. Personally, I'm looking at 163.200 and 162.600 as potential areas to buy from. I was about to say buy and sell, but not looking to sell. Buy from, and then yeah, next target 165.950 and 168.306. And USDJPY, you're brave looking to sell. That's for short. You're brave looking for sells here. I do expect some retracement, but whether that happens now or price moves another 100 pips and then it happens, it's difficult to tell. Main reason, there's nothing on the left to really look at. We have to go all the way back using the monthly time frame to actually get some price action in that area. So for me personally, if I was looking to trade USJPY, I was just waiting for some corrections and then looking to buy. And these are two great areas to look to buy from. 140,500, nice consolidation, broke to the upside with a lot of momentum. If price comes back down to retest that, most likely we'll see another push to the upside. And if that doesn't hold, we've also got 139, which was the prior weekly high, which will be a nice area for a retest as well. So yeah, sales from USJPY a little bit aggressive, not really much confidence in your favor, other than we expect the market to retrace. There's not really much going on there. But hey, if those sales fit your plan, then go for it. But yeah, long term, 144,800 is looking good. The next monthly target, as you can see, we smashed through that one. Next one's all the way up there. So we'll see if we can get there. But yeah, as things stand, everything is up. So I'll wait for correction before getting into this one. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. No problem. Happy to help. Okay, so I have to remove that again. Yeah, I'm definitely doing the wrong option here. I need to sort that out for tomorrow. Okay, where were we? Okay, so yeah, USJPY, just done that. Hopefully that was useful. We're in some reversals for gold. Okay, I'll have a little look at gold. No problem. EURUD, no problem. Mateus. We didn't create the right shoulder yet, but you predicted it. If you remember this head and shoulder pattern, you remember that we wait till we have a rejection from the region until we break low and then we go short. Yeah, I mean, the way I trade head and shoulder patterns, normally most of the time, I wait to go short on the right shoulder as it forms. If confidence are looking good, I'll anticipate the head and shoulder happening and enter on the right shoulder. If I miss the right shoulder entry, then I'll wait for the breaking retest of the neckline. So that's only if I miss the right shoulder, or if things don't look good, I might wait for the break of the neckline. But most of the time, 80% of the time, I'm looking to enter on the right shoulder. Let's see, gold. So yeah, gold is pushing to the downside, but again, that right shoulder is where I would look to enter the market, because we've already had some good momentum to the upside, which is typically what I want to see in the head and shoulder pattern. I want price to form that kind of left shoulder and then break through with a lot of momentum and then come back down. That's really a good sign. You don't really want price to form the high and then correctively push as well. That's not really a good sign. You want price to really fake the high and then come back down and delete that price action. And from there as well, I'll base my trade to go short. So yeah, most of the time I'm looking to short on the right shoulder. Slightly riskier, but risk towards better, and I've had good success from that. So that's where I look to enter. But again, you can wait for the neckline to break as well and take some shorts off that. Same thing, just risk reward is not as good, but safer entry. So it's what's it called, a compromise. But yeah, I would wait for that right shoulder to form first before entering. But yeah, in terms of analysis and everything, I still do expect gold to roll over. I've got 1700 there, which I have to watch out for. 1694 is a nice little level, but 1676 is where I see gold going eventually to take out those weekly lows. So yeah, I do see this one heading a lot further to the downside. I'll take a look at EURUD as well. Okay, so where were we? I just lost track of where we were. You can only delete messages. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm doing it then. But yeah, I should be able to block. Yeah, we'll take a look at EURUD. I've had a bit of a break in. I'm concentrating on closing all trades I made last week. I made EURNOK trades going well. Yeah, EURNOK. You were talking about EURNOK, weren't you? Let me see how that one's going, because I did look at it on the stream with A1 Trading. Yeah, nice downside. Nice downside. You called this one. Nice reaction up there, 10.05, and price has been heading to the downside pretty swiftly. So yeah, nice trade there. Yeah, to be fair, I have noticed that some of the exotics do form structure quite nicely. Peso is kind of the main exotic that I've looked at, Peso and USD. But Euronoc looks good as well, and I don't think I've ever actually looked at this pair before Friday. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Nice move to the downside. Nice move. I'll take a look at Euro AUD now. So yeah, Euro AUD, nice reaction from that level there, similar to what's going on with Euro NZD. So like I said at the start of the stream, or not start of the stream, probably looked at about half an hour ago. Yeah, price reacting well with that level. Personally, I'm still looking at 1.49 sorry, up here. That's where I'm looking for the next lower high to form. So I am still looking at a push higher than the drop. But again, I could be wrong. Price might just go bearish from here and continue to the downside without, testing that level up there. So yeah, price right now is looking bearish. Like I said, this is a good target to have. Another one. That's why I do see the market heading down. Now, ideally, it would have been nice to get short on that hourly candle closure there. Nice bearish engulfing at that level, taking profits, coming down into those areas. So if you're not already in the trade, you probably want price to come back and retest 1.47 again, and then look to enter, because that one's already moving. It's already a moving train. But yeah, as long as we can hold 1.47, looking at 1.46, 1.45, so 1.46, 1.45, 200, and 1.44, 200 to the downside for EUR/AUD. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Okay, yeah, use JPY, no problem. Happy to help. Euro JPY, of course, we'll take a look. Hey Ross, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. Hope you are good as well. Are you in any trades? Yeah, I'm still in a trade from last week. But nothing this week so far. The market was quite dead. Yesterday, so I didn't really get any movement to find any trades. Today looked good, but unfortunately one of the levels that I was looking at in UNZ broke through, so I didn't manage to get an entry there, but I'll still be keeping an eye for some shorts. But yeah, I'm still in a trade on AUSD from last week. A really nice swing trade, which I entered on Tuesday last week on that bearish engulfing. So I'm still in this one. I've taken most of my profit already, about 80% when it came into the 0.68. So here's where I've taken most of my profit, just in case we bounced and pushed up again. But I'm looking to see if we can push all the way back down to these lows here, back down to the swing lows. So I'm really trying to push the trade back down to the lows there, and just take advantage of the trend, because, weekly, daily, 4H, we're all seeing bearish trends. So the chance of price continuing back down to the lows is pretty high. So I'm gonna look to see if I can take advantage of that. But yeah, still in USD, still in AUSD short. I'm actually looking to see if I can get some more positions onto this one. I was looking at this level here, didn't quite get there. And I'm also looking at that level for some more entries, but got to stay patient, because right now price is a little bit choppy, but I do see price still heading further down. But yeah, that's the only trade I'm in, and that's from last week. Nothing this week so far, but something could happen. It's only Tuesday. There's a few pairs I'm looking at, and like always, I'll let you know if I get anything in the Telegram. So just stick it down in the chat. Stick it in the chat. Wait, stick it in the chat? No. The chat for my Telegram, the link is in the chat if you scroll to the top, but it's also in the description as well, if you want to check out my Telegram. But yeah, what pair did I say I'll look at? Euro JPY, but there's one before that I'm pretty sure. Euro AUD, I just took a look at that one. Okay, use JPY in the 5 minute. Okay, I'll take a look. Hey, thank you, Thought. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for subscribing, much appreciated. USD CAD, that's actually another pair that I'm actually looking at to trade, so I will definitely have a little look at that. yeah, I'll take a look at Euro JPY, but first I'll go and use JPY 5 minute, then I'll move on to Euro Yen. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say you were selling this market here on the 5 minute? So yeah, I mean, it stayed the same. I mean, there's not too much going on in the 5 minute that changes anything for me. Price is running out of steam. Like I said, I am expecting price to retrace eventually, but you know, price could have another move to the upside first. It can move another 50, 100 pips and then retrace. You know, I have no idea when the market's going to retrace. You know, that kind of knowledge, you know, I do not possess. So the market is still bullish. It's running out of steam. You can see the retracements are getting a bit more frequent. And the market is extended a little bit more to the downside, so it's a sign that the market is running out of juice, but it could also be a sign that the market is building up again for another, you know, push to the upside. It could be either which one. There's nothing really, you know, that's a strong confluence, or you know, it doesn't really push probability too much into our favor. The market's going to see some downside right now. But again, if you got something in your plan that says short it right now, then 100% stick through that short. I'm just going to be expressing my opinions and my analysis. Yeah, so 5 minute wise, if price can break through some structure, preferably break through this low here. If price can break through that for some momentum, then shorts on the break and retest of that will make a lot more sense. And then you can take advantage of some downside. Again, still counter trend trading, but at least now you've got some structure in your favor, and you probably take advantage of some momentum. And yeah, maybe back to this area where we can expect that next bullish move from. So yeah, use JPY, I do expect to see some retracement, but for me, I would wait for that low to break. If that low can break, you can look for some additional shorts on the retest there as well. And then yeah, some retracement, but still looking pretty bullish. And until that structure breaks, you know, I'll still be saying use JPY is a bullish, and it could still potentially head higher, like I said. But yeah, it looks good, but you do want that structure to break first, because we've had quite an overextended push right now, so I do expect retracement to form after that, but you want structure to break first, you know. And I'll tell you that, okay, the bears are stepping in, and now we can look to, you know, sell it and ride that momentum a little bit. Okay, I hope that made sense. Euro yen. Okay, so Euro yen, a little bit of downside, nothing crazy though. But yeah, targets, like I've been saying, 142, 144, that's what I expect the market to head to. This was the level of interest coming into the week at 138. Didn't quite see the retracement into that level, but not too worried. 139 just formed here, and it's looking pretty good as well. So either one of these two areas I'll look to go long. For me, I want to see a lot more retracement before I buy into this one. Yeah, and if you're not really long, best thing to do is just wait for some retracement and look to get back involved. But yeah, for me, higher time frames look very, very bullish. So monthly, weekly, daily now, 4H as well. Everything is pointing to the upside. So from a swing point of view, even day trading, I suppose you can probably still look for some short-term sells, but really the buys is where it's at for Euro Yen. So any corrections we can get, especially back down to 139, we'll be looking for some entries to take some buys. And like I said, targets 142, 144, and long term you got 148 up there as well. So yeah, Euro Yen looks very, very good. USD CAD, I'll have a look at that one. Have a look at USD CAD. What do you think of Euro Yen? Looking for rejection of 146.61 and TP at 142.295. So where's 146.61? 146.61. Then we got an hourly time frame. Okay, so you're looking for a break and retest of this high here on the left, and then buys from that. Yeah, I suppose so. It's not the strongest level in the world, so it's nothing that I would consider to buy from. I'm not really liking the fan of the structure here. You know, the fact that we've broken the high, then we broke back inside of it again. A little bit far from the mic there, my bad. So yeah, it does make sense. It's a break and retest, but it's just not a level that I would consider to go long from. To be fair, momentum is very, very strong. So momentum might just keep us holding this level and we push to the upside. If we see some strong bears come back in, then we can definitely push through. But the fact that we are seeing a lot of momentum on the monthly, weekly, daily, 4H, even the hourly, means that the chance of this level holding is now greater. So yeah, you can look for buys there. But if the trade does fail and price does push back in, it doesn't change too much. It just means that you probably got in too early. You can look to get back in. So yeah, it does make sense. I would wait for price to retrace a little bit further. But if that looks good to you, then 100% go for it. It does make sense. And then targets 142.295. So I'm assuming that's right at the high of this wick here. So yeah, basically into that 142 area, same as me. So yeah, it does make sense. But if it does fail, still to take advantage of those buys. As long as you risk towards positive, you will make back the money that you lose on that trade if it doesn't hold. And if it does hold, then you're just taking a winner anyway. So it's a win-win either which way. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the level, but because momentum is quite strong, we could see that level hold as well. So yeah, wait for some confirmations and yeah, go for it. And targets 142 is where I'd be expecting price to head to. So it does make sense. It does make sense. Okay, I'll take a look at USD CAD. Just joining today's session. Thank you, Ross, much appreciated. Just joining today's session. Should I enter the trade, sir, for gold? Gold, I'm waiting for a retest of the level. I'll run through that quickly, but I mean, again, it's up to your plan. It's not if I'm saying buy or sell. You need to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you're not really going to get anywhere. But I'll show you the level I'm talking about. I was looking for someone who will teach me form analysis to entries. Thanks, process. Hey, much appreciated. No problem. Business and more, no problem. Happy to have you in the fam. Yeah, USD CAD, I'll take a look. So yeah, I'll do USD CAD gold, and I'll do finish on AD CAD because we are coming up to the end of the stream, which I just realized. Have been trading for about a year. It's taken some time to find my own system. It's nice knowing that there is less guesswork in my trading nowadays. Yeah, 100%. You don't want to be any guesswork. I mean, no, zero guesswork is a little bit unrealistic because you're gonna have to improvise in trading. Each kind of trade is different from the last, but we're still taking trades within our plan, within our system. So the less guesswork, the better, the more clarity, the more it makes sense to you, the more confidence, which is a big thing in trading, the more confidence you have. So yeah, less is more, 100%. Once you understand what you're looking for, then everything else becomes a little bit of a blur, and you kind of just forget about it, and you just wait for your setups to come. And that's where trading can come a little bit more systematic, and then you're just taking trades and taking your wins, taking your break-evens, your losses, and you're just trading your system, which is what trading is, which is what all is. Okay, so yeah, USD CAD, this one is on my watch list, and I'm looking for buys for this one. Again, targets are these wick highs, which I'm expecting price to go and take out, and I'm looking to see if we can get a retest of this resistance, because we had a breakout, and I'm looking for the retest and then buys to go and take out that wick. Personally, I do still see 1.33 and 1.34. I'm still looking at us going and taking out those highs really, in price pushing a lot further, maybe 1.35, but we'll leave that for another day. So yeah, I'm still looking at a retest of 1.30500. So hopefully USD CAD see a bit more downside, a bit more retracement, and then from here as well, look for my buys to the upside. Nice little bullish engulfing, something like that, and I'll go long from that. Targets at 1.32248. Risk towards looking good, and if you want to push the trade, we got 1.333, 1.34 as well, if you're feeling lucky. But yeah, USD CAD bullish bias, looking at going taking out those highs. Gold, like I said before, sales look good. Hey, thank you so much first for subscribing. Gold does look good for some sells, but I am looking for a retest of that resistance there for the head and shoulder pattern. As you can see, left head, right shoulder is what I'm looking at. Left head, right. I'm looking at us retesting this resistance here to sell back down again. So see what type of price action we can get at 17.14, 17.15. Probably want to drop to the half an hour for entries. And then take some trades based on that. Or you can wait for a break of the neckline if you want to wait for a bit more conservative entry. And it's completely up to you how you want to trade it. But in terms of bias and everything, I'm still looking at gold falling this week. If the right shoulder doesn't hold and the head and shoulder pattern fails, I'm still looking at sells from 1740 up there. That's my next kind of area of interest. And from that, I do expect us to head to the downside and eventually take out 1676 and take out those weekly lows. So yeah, bias is bearish on gold. And lastly, AUD CAD, which did see some nice downside this morning. As you can see, again, long term, still bearish on this guy, looking for us to return back down to these lows here. We are coming into some support, broken support and resistance. Oh, draw that a little bit off. Broken support and resistance, as you can see here. So support, resistance, support, and we're coming back into it again. So we might see a bit of a reaction to the upside for AUD CAD, but I'm expecting it to break, and I'm expecting us to get back into these lows. I'm looking at this being our next lower high from that high and from that high and from that high up there. So I do expect us to reach back at these lows at 0.87. So yeah, any retracement we can get most likely will just be a pullback. So something like that would be nice. Retest that, and then sell it back down again. Retest of this structure here as well. 0.89400 would be a great place to look for some sells. And take it back down to these lows, or depends how far you want to push the trade, but that's where I do see the market heading towards. But yeah, guys, we have come to the end of the stream, so I will be looking to wrap things up. I will be live again tomorrow, Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. Wednesday and Thursday. Same time as always, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time, London time, UTC +1. So make sure you're on the stream tomorrow if you want to catch my analysis. Hey, thank you, Richard. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the stream, and thank you so much for attending as well. If you have enjoyed the stream, be sure to leave a like on the channel, on the video. It does really help the channel out. Do appreciate all the kind messages you guys leave on the stream. They're fantastic. And if you haven't done already, subscribe as well. Subscribe, join the team. Everybody is welcome. Hey Fab GG, hi Miko. I've been day trading and a few days ago I started swing trading, but my trades either losers or break even, and I want to ask you, how do you close some profits? Do you open multiple trades? You can do, but personally I just place one order and then I just close partials. You can use on the MT4 on your computer or on the MT4 app on your phone. Just closing partials at a time. So you just enter the lot size you want to close of the original order. Again, it's a little bit complicated, to be fair. It's probably actually easier just to open multiple positions and then close the individual positions, so you don't have to calculate stuff and you might click some wrong buttons. I've just got into the habit of doing that, but it's probably easier to open multiple positions at the same time. Probably no more than 3 or 4. You want to keep it, not having like 10 doesn't really make too much sense at that point. So yeah, 3 or 4, something like that. And just close them one by one as price hits your targets or does something that makes you want to take some partials. But yeah, partials is definitely important. So yeah, you can have multiple trades. I don't do that. It doesn't really make a difference, really. Just preference doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, hopefully that answered your question. These streams must be tiring. Great stream. No, they're not actually tiring, to be fair. It actually goes pretty quick. It did used to be a little bit tiring when there was not many people on the stream. So yeah, back in the day when I just had like 6 people on the stream, those were a little bit tiring because there was no like much activity happening. It was kind of just me analyzing the market for myself. And so yeah, those times are a little bit more tiring, but when there's people on the stream and talking back to you and engaging, it actually goes pretty quick. And it's almost like you're just talking to people right in front of me. So yeah, it actually goes pretty quick. But I have to admit, it is a lot of speaking, and my mouth does get dry. So that is the downside of it. But it's all about risk management. Take the risk of a dry mouth, reward having a great stream. But yeah, guys, happy to help. I will be live again tomorrow, so I do hope I see you tomorrow. Like I said, same time, 10 a.m. to 12. If I do get any positions, I'll let you guys know in my Telegram, so feel free to check that out. Links in the description to that. Anything else? Yeah, subscribe, hit the like button. Thank you for coming on the stream. And yeah, guys, I'll see you all tomorrow, so have a good one.